baby leg hanging out your shit like. I'm recording her. Hey, yo, how long? My child. This is not my child. No, it's not.
Are you going to help me?
Yeah, you gotta give me change.
I don't have change.
What happened to you?
Are you going to help me?
What happened to you?
I don't know what happened to me. They said I got raped.
What?
Can you help me, please? They said I got raped. They said I got raped. Can you help me, please?
Oh my God. This is so what? This is good footage right here. Hey, yo, come on. I'm gonna help you right now. Come on.
Where are you going to help me?
I'm about to go get change for you.
Okay,
Hey, miss, you got change for a 20? You got change for a 20?
They said I got raped. I don't know what's going on.
I'm about to help you right now. Relax, yo. Just
Hot D.
That's right, folks. Over here on the MCU's Bleeding Edge YouTube channel and podcast, we're very multi-layered, and me being, of course, the humbled co-host and creator of the MCU's Bleeding Edge YouTube channel and podcast, Jeff S, aka True Knowledge, aka also known as don't tell anybody, the conservative voice at one given time. That's right. I ain't afraid of ashamed of my game, baby. Anyways, folks, my dog Dodger is driving me crazy right now because he wants to play right now. He just decides he wants to start playing with his toys and shit right before I'm about to go live. So I'm like sitting here like guilt-ridden, like watching him trying to play by himself. And she's looking at me right now, looking at me. And I'm like thinking for a minute, I'm like, should I just not even go live and just play with Dodge? What are you going to do? He's getting older and everything and whatnot, and geez, you don't know how long how many times you're going to get to, chances you're going to get to play with, with your dog, like, or whatever, or what I mean, folks. I'm not trying to get all emotional and whatnot, but anyways, this is the MCU's Bleeding Edge YouTube channel and podcast. Yes, it's very rare that anyone even legally is willing to allow me to solo a show on here, right? Due to contractual, type shit, you know what I mean? And liability issues, when I'm by myself and I don't have Cyber around or anybody around to, control, my grimy ass shit talking type stuff that I like to add to the shows, So I broke the contract tonight just to keep it real, and rock out this Andor episode 5 review. But I do have guests hopefully popping on here shortly. They're just late. And of course, part of the content creation game, unfortunately, is that you have guests drop out the day of a show and whatnot and everything, right? So, hey, what are you going to do? The show's got to keep on going, right? I mean, you don't just stop. So here I am. For the first time ever in the history of my MCU's Bleeding Edge, reviewing episode, movie type shit, I've never actually reviewed an episode of anything before by myself or done like a solo movie review. So it's going to be interesting, folks. I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be a very connective experience between me and you and the audience and whatnot, and all of you who catch us non-live on YouTube, and all the other platforms that we're, of course, on. Shout out to Rumble. How's it going, everybody on Rumble? Shout out to Twitch. Shout out to the minuscule people on Twitter Live or Periscope, I guess it's still called, whatever, that catch us on there. You're very few, but we appreciate you. And I wish I could say shout out to our Facebook audience, but unfortunately, StreamYard still does not seem to be able to explain to me why it is we can't live stream on our Facebook, page right now. They have no answers other than I now probably need to contact Facebook about it. Which, hey, that's always like really easy to do, right? You could just hit them right up, and they're right there, right? Yeah. So thanks, StreamYard. Appreciate that. Anyways, folks. But on a positive note, my Andor t-shirts came in today. I was a little bit worried there that they weren't going to pop up. Stacey got hers. Cyber got hers. I didn't get mine. What's up with that, man? I'm the creator of the damn Bleeding Edge. I can't even get my Andor t-shirts. I'm telling you. That just shows you where I'm at with, how people view my status here on the show. What up, Dodger? I'll be there in a minute, buddy. Just give me a minute, okay? I ain't going nowhere. So anyways, folks, Andor episode 5, pretty solid episode. Do not be surprised if maybe I jump around a little bit, whatnot, and make fun of Black Panther Wakanda Forever here, on the outskirts of the review here and there, just because I have some funny shit to say about it. Like, for instance, when did Wakanda start fucking with the Power Rangers and the Predator? too? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when did they become a part of like the Wakandan scene? How did that all work out? I would really like to know how that worked, like how that collaboration came together. The Predator, like how you could get the Power Rangers up in there to begin with, then the Predator too. Hey, that's some serious negotiation skills right there, maybe. You know, maybe they came out of the multiverse. I have no idea. But anyways, Andor episode 5 was a little bit surprising to me in that I guess coming off episode 4, not really knowing what to expect, I guess, I sort of assumed that there would be some more planning in terms of the rebels and Cassie and everything and whatnot and their operation. But it never occurred to me that it would not actually occur in episode 5. I just figured we'd go right to it almost at some point, or at least at some point, like halfway through the show, it would actually go down, right? But I'm not, this isn't a negative remark or anything like that and whatnot, that I'm just surprised with the fact that it ended up becoming more of a suppositional show, but it was good like that. Like I'm loving the almost subtle buildup that the series is portraying from episode to episode. Now, some people I've talked to, other creators I've asked to come on and guest with me and do these reviews and whatnot, are like, oh, and nothing against them. Oh, I sat down and tried to watch episode 1 and 2 and I fell asleep, and you know what I mean? And I get it. The first couple episodes were kind of slow, a la WandaVision, whatever. But honestly, if they just would have stuck it out, the damn show gets pretty freaking good after a while. It really does. It picks up. And again, I was surprised by the tone of the episode. But I loved the fact that they really had things broadened across the episode to where they were just jumping from scene to scene and giving us these different, almost inflections on all of the different moving pieces that have to do with this heist, with this mission, this plan, with the rebels and whatnot. And, I don't want to say that the Cyril with his mom scenes really necessarily, maybe they do fit into this. I have no idea. Maybe there's even a connection there or something in some way. I have no idea. No way of knowing. Again, I don't watch these episodes ahead of time. I watch the episodes before we review them. I don't go ahead. That does me no good. As I want to enjoy the series. I want to let the suspense build. I don't want to go into these review shows having watched ahead and actually knowing how outcomes happen and whatnot. I want to be in the moment. And people can do things however they want to do them. That's how I prefer to do them. When we covered House of the Dragon, it never occurred to me to go ahead, and watch further episodes and whatnot before I would then review an episode. I wanted to be really in the moment, if anything. And so at that point, I have no idea what happens in episode 6. No clue. I don't look at the YouTube stuff. I don't look at the other reviews, I just don't pay attention. Which is hard because I would like to watch them. I happen to be a big fan of consuming YouTube, believe it or not. I mean, I am a man, and I'm also a geek or whatever, I guess, right? Like a nerd type. So yeah, YouTube's is up my alley, man, But yeah, basically, I really liked the sort of, again, the subtle buildup that I felt like this episode conveyed, while also, again, doing something which now, again, I am not some massive Star Wars knowledgeable fan here. I'm not. Do I love Star Wars? I do. But I don't have the same knowledge that some of these other creators do, where they're really they know the lore really well and whatnot. Like, Gunnar, one of our frequent guests, and of course the co-host of a Snap and MCU podcast, he knows the lore. He's all into Star Wars. And I'm actually hoping that he's one of the people that's going to pop on here at some point. I'll see down here at the screen and let into the studio, because it's nice to have people in there to fill in the gaps for you when you're covering something that maybe you don't have all of the the pieces there as a fan. But I do my best, right? And I do love Star Wars. I do. So if I get something wrong or whatever as I'm talking here and getting into the episode, hey, peeps in the comment section, if you want to point out something I did wrong or said wrong, whatever, you're more than welcome to. I'll learn from it, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But shout out to Cybernetic Shark, my co-host. Appreciate you, bro. Hope you're having a good Sunday. I took the night off on Friday night. That's why we didn't do Andor on Friday. It was my birthday. And I thought that it would be a good idea for me to just take a night off, take a break from the MCU's Bleeding Edge for once, for the first time in the history of Bleeding Edge, and go out to dinner with my friends and have a good time, which I did. And it was fun. I had a really good time. I don't have that many friends down here in Southwest Florida, you know, real life friends. So I enjoyed having a chance to spend time with them and whatnot and everything. And of course, it was nice to see my family during Thanksgiving. And my son was here. I got to go see Black Panther: Wakanda Forever with my son. So, hey, the movie may have been terrible, or at least not very good. But at least I got to watch it with my son. You know, that's always a powerful, you know, very connected, great thing that him and I can share that kind of thing. And he even said at the end of it that it was terrible, just to be clear. And he's 12 years old. So at that point, if he says that, then what do you think? I mean, let's be honest here. You know, he's my son. So he knows the difference between fucking garbage and gold. You feel me? But hey, I don't want to talk up my children too much here, folks. You know.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
That's right. That's right. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Unless it's me, baby. Where it's always good. Even when I'm shit, I'm still good. Which is, hey, that's some serious fucking talent right there, baby. I'm telling you right now. And just to be clear, folks, I'm still recovering technically, and you know, from some things that happened to me back in the day. I'm not even at my best yet. Like, I don't even know what my ceiling is with content creation. So I could be like I could be the Hall of Famer here in 3 years for all I know, right? Or I could be have early Alzheimer's. It's a flip of the coin. We'll never know, right? We'll have to see what happens. Could be interesting either way, right? For the Bleeding Edge, could be interesting either way, right? Could be good, could be shit, but we'll have to see. So, anyways, Andor episode 5. I guess. Again, it starts off once again with the Cyril and mother dynamic, which is neat. It is interesting, of course. I do find it interesting. And the mother is certainly a character. I can tell you that right now. She's something else. I'm not sure who that actress is. I'd have to look it up quick, but she's something else, you know. I can't really think of anybody like her. I'm trying to think in my head right now, like if I can compare her to some other mother from a different TV show that's similar to how she is. I can't really pinpoint anybody that's like her, to be honest with you. But she's good. I mean, you know, I guess you kind of get the gist that in a way, she almost dictates to Cyril in a way. Like clearly, obviously, I mean, at this point, we've come to the realization that the operation on Varix turning into like a complete shit show really did not help Cyril out too much, right? Like that shit's not doing so good for him. I mean, essentially he's out of a job, right? So if I understand things correctly, and we right off the bat, you know, or I guess you could say introduced by name at least. I guess we'll actually probably see him at some point here soon. We actually get introduced to Uncle Harlow. Uncle Harlow will know what's best, Mom says. Mom says no prospects for the future for Cyril at all. He has none, according to her. So, you know, and isn't it interesting that his cereal in that scene reminds me of cereal that we eat right now. So isn't that crazy, right? Even in the future, like at this point, they're still eating the same fucking cereal that we eat. Hey, folks, that's some real shit right there. That's what I took out of that scene. The cereal being similar to now, right? Very poignant. Obviously, you know, that's why they call me True Knowledge, baby. But no. So Uncle Harlow apparently will know what's best. And we'll be able to give Cyril a job. Who knows what it'll be? Maybe he'll be Captain Marvel's next butt double. Who knows? You know, I mean, I'm sure even Captain Marvel's butt double probably needs another butt double, just in case like she has a day off. She needs a day off or whatever, right? Or something pops up. So who's going to step in then for her? You know, I mean, I can't do it. My ass is flatter than Brie Larson's. No, it's not actually. To tell you the truth. My ass has got more curve to it than Bree's, baby. I'm telling you right now. Not that I'm trying to like, talk up like my butt, because I mean, but I'm just saying, even I've got more meat down there maybe than Bree does. She's hurting down there, man. If anybody ever needed butt injections, it's Bree. I don't know why they didn't just do that before Captain Marvel anyway. Now I think about it. But yeah, so I don't know, folks. You tell me in the comment section what you think of the whole dynamic with Cyril and the mom, what your take is on it, and whatnot, and everything. But for me, I see it as a situation where, like I said, and we'll flush this out later on. I mean, we see in like one of the final scenes of the episode that Cyril's like still consumed and obsessed with Cassian. I guess maybe at this point now, he sort of almost maybe blames Cassian for his current lot in life. And the fact that he's having to deal with his fucking mom too, who's a bitch, let's be honest here. Like, I mean, she's a fucking bitch. She's a straight cunt. And I certainly would not be able to sit there and like tolerate that shit like Cyril, but whatever, good for him. He's kind of a pussy, let's be honest here. So back to something that's actually interesting, and I felt like that did something for me here. Back to Cassian with the Rebels. Very interesting dialogue between Cassian and Skeen, who I'm really liking Skeen more and more. Although they sort of highlight him in the episode to some extent. So they wanted Skeen to kind of like almost be a member of the Rebels that Cassian could connect with, I guess, right? And the way that this is flushed out is basically the fact that Skeen approaches, Cassian. He's shirtless, because of course you know how popular being shirtless is these days, especially on dating sites with your profile pictures as a guy. I've heard it's really hot. Really works well for you too. But so Skeen's, shirtless, and he has tattoos, and Cassian knows what the tattoos mean. And as Skeen points out different tattoos, he knows what they all are. And essentially, if I understood correctly, they trace back to, I guess, like youth, almost like camps, I guess, that these kids, from different planets that were devastated by the Empire, where they ended up almost like caged as prisoners almost. So Skeen and Cassian have that connection. At that point, I found that scene very poignant. I did. Amongst everything that occurs in the episode, I thought that was very poignant and played out very well for me. I took a lot from it and enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought that basically it was nice to. I'm glad we got a chance to have this full episode where we got to get to know the Rebels more, as opposed to just shifting into the actual plan and the operation. I'm glad, looking back at things, that things played out the way that they did, because I don't see this as a filler episode at all, and I don't see why anybody would. This was a suppositional episode where it flushed out more of the actual motivations and the ins and outs and the dynamics around the specific characters that are important in the series. And I think that's very valuable, as well as it's done the right way, which I believe that they did. So basically coming off of the scene, Cassian kind of moment, Skeen probably basically like throughout the conversation, he kind of flushes out the motives, I guess, or the strengths and weaknesses, right, of each of the Rebels, essentially, to Cassian for the first time, essentially like explaining to them, okay, like, this is what, this Rebel's, strength is. This is who the toughest one is. This is like, this is the one that hates the fucking, the Empire the most. This is whose roles are what type deal. I found that interesting. I did. And basically I felt like, it was good to finally have more of a sense of kind of like, some knowledge to have, something to work with in terms of who these rebels individually are, right? Because we don't really know that much about them. So at that point, we switch over to Mon Martha, and like her sitting around the breakfast table or whatever, I guess, with her daughter and her husband, and her mentioning this foundation she's starting, of course, which has to do with Luthen and her need to be able to move money to to help bolster and support the rebels and the cause. And the daughter is basically like an asshole, right? Like from jump. I mean, she's a dick and kind of a prick and whatnot and everything, and kind of talking smack to mom and everything and whatnot. Doesn't even want mom to drive her to school. Just some more information to give us to work with in terms of like, Mom Martha, her family structure, what she's got going on, right? I'm wondering possibly if the husband is not as much of a bumbling idiot or whatever, or like a prop as like I thought maybe he was at first. And we'll talk about that later on in the episode. But basically, I mean, I'm getting the impression from him that he's actually pretty skeptical in a way himself as to what Mom Martha's got going on. He may even be a plant, which I thought about that today during the episode. I was like, you know what? What if the husband actually is only the husband because he works for the Empire and he's there to spy on her and to try to, grasp through her in some way what's going on with the rebellion. Like they know who she is. They understand that there's something going on with her, I think, that's not quite, she's not down with the Empire completely. So I'm wondering, and we'll see what happens with this, folks. I could be very off with this, but I'm wondering if the husband ends up being literally a secret agent almost that they put in place. The Empire did. Somehow. We have no way of knowing how they came together, how they ended up husband and wife. But I'm wondering if maybe he could be a double agent. Not a double agent, but if he could be working for the Empire. That is right, Facebook user. Is that you? I never know who a Facebook user is. Would that be you, Joey? What's up, brother? How you doing? Or it could be anybody. Who knows? We have so many fans on Facebook. It could be anybody. So I apologize if you're not Joey. Yes, Andor is right. I am discussing Andor episode 5. So yes. So anyways, as far as us going back, again now there's a lot of switching from scene to scene. A lot of it. Now from scene to scene. Oh shit. A lot of it. Wait a minute. Sorry about that. From scene to scene. Oh shit. There we go. A lot of it. Wait a minute. Sorry about that. From scene to scene. Hey, technical difficulties there, folks. That's what happens when you've got on one of your other laptops. You've got your Twitch, the show on the Twitch right now. You know what I mean? That's what happens. So sorry about that. Sorry about the echo there. But no, the majority though of the scenes as they flip from scene to scene, the bulk of the time of it all is with the rebels. Like that's the direction that it goes. They focus on that. But I will say though that they also at the same time end up then, involving the actual Imperial forces that are running the Imperial base house, or like the structure. Why I'm having a hard time with this, I have no idea. But the place they're going to rob, okay, the Imperial base or whatever, whatnot, that they're going to rob the payroll from. They give us sort of like a personal angle to who the employees are and who the actual, not employees, but who the actual Imperial officers and like all of them are. Oh, Cyber, what up, man? How you doing, brother? Look who's going solo, Cyber. My first ever actual review of anything by myself, man. You've done it tons of times. I never have, so I'm in new territory here. So, yes. But am I nervous? Hell no. I'm down for the cause, baby. I know how it is, baby. I'm ready to get after it. Black Lives Matter, baby. That's it. That's just how we do it. No, I'm just playing. So what's going on with you, Cyber? Hope you're doing, man. You could, of course, have jumped on with me to help me out or anything like that, but that's okay. I understand. I'm sure you're doing something very busy, very critical. Cyber, of course, is the co-host, the original co-host of me with the MCU's Bleeding Edge channel and podcast, is my good friend and supports the shit out of me and is very patient with me as a co-host and balances me out, and is an individual content creator, a veteran YouTuber and content creator that I met on Rizzle, the platform that nobody's ever fucking heard of ever and never will. So don't ask them anymore if they've heard about it. I just say I'm from Rizzle. No, I don't even bother anymore with, do you know what Rizzle is? I stopped even asking a long time ago. I think I've asked 17,000 people altogether, and not one single person out of 17,000 knew what Rizzle was. It's never happened. And that's okay, though. That's all right. It just doesn't really do much for, for my stature in terms of my stats on there and whatnot, everything, That's okay, though. No, but basically, so back to the Rebels planning. They're still planning. And essentially, Amber Alert. Sorry about that, folks. I have 7 different cell phones, so, I'd have to get up, and it would take me 10 minutes to turn them all off on all of them. But basically, there seems to be this sort of like issue or this problem that Cassian ends up finding out a part of. And basically, what we end up finding out is that the Rebels essentially say that they know how to operate this train that's going to be being an important part of the heist, where they are, of course, going to be essentially infiltrating the base as Imperial soldiers. Like, they've got the uniforms and whatnot and everything, now, Cassian all of a sudden becomes very useful, and he really asserts himself at this point in this scene, because what they don't know is they don't know the actual weight of the train, I believe. Something like that. There's a weight issue that has to do with their ability to actually, I guess, access the train possibly, or something along those lines, And at that point, Cassian does know how to figure out the weight. It turns out to be that it's not in the manual. It's actually like on a mud flat, like on the back of it, or on a panel on the bottom of the train. And he knows that that's where you find the actual number of the weight. Now, I apologize. I can't remember exactly what the whole problem was with the weight, like why that was so important. Unless it had something to do with the actual amount of Rebels that are going to be getting into it. No clue. But he solves the problem. Suddenly becomes very useful to the whole team, the whole plan all of a sudden, right? How they knew to ask him this, I have no fucking idea. Since they have no idea who the hell he is, as far as I know, right? Luthen does, they don't. All Luthen has basically told the lieutenant or whatever, basically, is that he is a mercenary, basically. Like, he's getting paid to do this shit. Which she did not tell any of the other Rebels that. They don't know that. She doesn't want them to know that, although that flushes out later. Now, at that point, as I said, Cassian sort of asserts himself amongst the Rebels for the first time, because he's very much at that point like, are these bitches green? Like, am I about to go run up into this fucking Imperial base like with a bunch of like rookies here? Like, is that what's going down? Is that the deal? Like, am I the vet here? Like, should I be running the show? Which honestly, I think is probably what's going to end up happening anyway. To tell you the truth, I think by the time the mission goes off, it's going to end up being Cassie that's going to end up having to, either he's going to be the integral piece of it or make some kind of move or whatever that saves it or something like that or whatever, right? Or rescues it. Or he's going to end up just taking over. Like, you know what I mean? And having to take over. But we'll see, of course. I'm just predicting here. And yes, Cyber, it is fun. I'm enjoying myself right now, hey, what can you do, right? Things happen, and guests drop out of shows, and hey, hats off to all the guests today and whatnot for the show that actually did get a hold of me. Jasmine, thank you very much. Gunner, they actually did get a hold of me and let me know earlier today and whatnot, everything that they probably either would not make it or they'd be 50-50. At least they let me know, right? They didn't bullshit me or pull some last minute bullshit on me, right? So I appreciate that. I really do. You know, it's nice when guests actually like give a shit enough to like reach out to you and call you or whatever, whatnot, and be like, hey, I don't think I can make it. So, you know, I knew it might be solo. It might be a solo night either way at that point. So essentially at that point, back to the rebels, they start to kind of like drill a little bit, in terms of the fact that they are going to be infiltrating the base as Imperial soldiers. They've got the outfits, and essentially, I can't remember the name of the rebel, the African-American gentleman that plays the rebel, but he's kind of like, you know, testing Cassian as to whether or not he can really pull this off. Can he stand in the Can he project the right posture? Can he be believable as a soldier? He touches them. Cassian's like, hey, don't fucking touch me again. Talk to me. You want to talk to me? Talk to me. Don't touch me. Which, you know, whatever. I guess that's Cassian's deal, right? He's a hard ass, I guess. I don't know. Personally, I think I would probably knock him out. He doesn't seem all that tough to me, to tell you the truth, but whatever. We'll never know, right? I don't see myself squaring off with Cassie and Andor anytime soon. Unless they want to add me to the cast for Andor up to season 2. I mean, if they want to throw me in the mix, have at it, baby. But I'm telling you right now, I'm going to have some specific inclusivity clauses that I'm going to want in my contract. And they're going to be very different and very unique, but I need to have them. They're very important to me. Less than the financial aspects. But we'll flush that out on another day, folks, on a you know, a different time. So basically, they get buzzed by a TIE fighter at one point, and I was a little bit lost with that whole thing. Like, okay, so I'm assuming this TIE fighter was just doing like basic. I think this TIE fighter came from the base because, of course, they're close to the base, and probably just doing patrols or something like that, right? And how it didn't see them, I don't know. That was the part I couldn't figure out, is that it flew right above them. So, like, how did it not see them? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe is that maybe is that their inside man or something like that, like saying hello or something or whatever, you know? Oh, I'm sorry about that, Cyber. This is my Black Adam hat, brother. Black Adam, baby. I don't have a flash hat yet, man. Oh, we got Raymond here now? Uh-oh. Raymond, what's up, man? My brother. Raymond, I'll tell you what, man. If you just want to caught up on Andor, brother, you could have been on here with me tonight, man. You could have been plugging Booze and Chill and plugging all your content and shit on here and whatnot, man. And we're pretty much killing it these days on YouTube and whatnot and all that. So it's not a bad place to plug as far as I'm concerned, to be honest with you. If you look at our numbers right these days, you know, we seem to be doing pretty good. Last time I checked, we're almost at 10,000 subs. So, hey, isn't that some shit? From friggin' takes us over a year to get to 1,000. And then in 6 months, we go to 7,000, almost at 8,000 now. Last time I checked, I think we're like 7,400 or some shit like that. I don't even pay attention really that much. I don't really look. That's not the stuff I pay attention to when I look at our YouTube channel. I'm always surprised when I see the subscriber numbers. Yeah, Reuben. Hey, catch up, man. Catch up and get on here, man. We still got what? Cyber. This is episode 5. We got 7 episodes left to do. So, I mean, at the longest, they're like 40 minutes long, if that. 39, 38 minutes long. They're not hard to watch. So, yeah, catch up. Get on one of these shows. You know? I mean, shit. I'd have to imagine, Raymond, that a me and Raymond combination on this show probably would have been more entertaining than just a me show. But you never know. No, I'm just kidding. Of course it would. Andor, Raymond is a good friend of mine. And Raymond, I did check out the videos you sent me, and they were really good. I really enjoyed them, especially that one with the with the scene where the truck's driving behind the truck with the pipes on it or whatever and whatnot from what's it called? Shit. Thank you, Cyber. So we've got 7 episodes to do. But no, what the hell was the name of that movie, Raymond? Not Final Fantasy. Come on, what the fuck? That makes no sense. Oh shit! Now Jocelyn's here too. What up, Jocelyn? What up, Joss? How you doing, hon? What up, my fellow TBI survivor sister? Hope you're doing all right. Anyways, folks. Yeah, Raymond. I'm telling you, man. Raymond, it's not hard to get into Andor, bro. Once you get past those first 2 episodes, it just picks up and picks up and picks up, and before you know it, you want to watch it. Well, at least for me, anyway. You know, it gets better. You just got to give it a chance. It's a very subtle buildup that they're kind of like putting together, right? It's not, you know, that's what they're trying to do. And oh, well, I'm stoned too, Josh. Although my buzz is starting to actually kind of drop off a little bit now, to be honest with you. Once my one solid legitimate guest that I had coming on and whatnot then called off like 10 minutes before the show, that just kind of killed my high right there. I was like, oh, okay, great. So I'm going to be solo on this one. Thanks a lot. You know, appreciate it. You know, so that's always wonderful. Right. But, yeah, it kind of killed my buzz. Won't lie, but it's okay. I'm drinking as usual. So this ain't juice, baby. You feel me? So hopefully I'll get a good buzz here, you know, at some point. And I do want to make it clear, folks. We, the Bleeding Edge, as always, care very much about inclusivity, just like Disney and Marvel Studios. And so, even though Black Panther: Wakanda Forever kind of blows, it does, unfortunately. Other than the Power Rangers and you know the Predator being in there. Besides that, at the very least, I can honestly say that as of last night, I have smashed my 4th Wakandan queen in less than a month. So I don't know if that sets a record or anything or whatever, or whatnot, you know, if I should call Guinness. But what I'm wondering is, at what point can I just basically like fuck my way into Wakanda? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that? How does that work? Can I apply? Like, you know, how much inclusivity points do I get, like, per Wakandan queen that I smash? You see what I'm saying? You know, because I mean, you know, there's got to be a way. You know, I mean, hey, if anybody can be anything nowadays, just say that there's something and you have to respect it, then why can't I be Wakandan? You know? But hey, it's another topic. Oh, and thank you very much. I appreciate that very much, Jocelyn, for mentioning my birthday. Thank you very much. It was very kind of you. So, anyways, as far as Andor episode 5 continues to go, you know, as we go back to the Rebel planning, like I said, they get brushed by the TIE fighter. And of course, what I was saying is what I wonder is, hey, Dodger, what's going on, buddy? How are you, bud? What's going on? Hey. There he is. There's the third co-host. There's the silent co-host of the MCU'S Bleeding Edge. Dodger, say hi, buddy. Dodger, say hi, bud. Dodger, you big boy, you. There he is, folks. The third silent co-host of the MCU'S Bleeding Edge YouTube channel and podcast. He's there for every show. He never misses one. You can always rely on him, right? He never calls off, right? Unless he takes off, right, Cyber? Unless he takes off for the night and he decides to go, you know, kill some shit or whatever, whatnot. Then he's back. Then he's gone. He's out. He ain't coming back. He ain't worried about the show at that point. But you can't blame him though, right? But no, folks. So you know they get buzzed by the TIE fighter. Rebels do, and you know. I'm wondering if that's Lieutenant Dorn, maybe, that's actually like in the TIE fighter or something like that. Maybe he's just like checking on them to see where they're at. You know, if they're still there, if you know what their deal is. But you know, we return to the Imperial base, and now I don't know all the names of the Imperial base officers and whatnot and everything. But what I found interesting about the Imperial base scenes was that, as opposed to other episodes where we've seen these sort of like interpersonal relationships and like the dynamics that go on between the Imperial forces, you know, talking amongst each other, doing their jobs and shit. They seem to be, especially the leader of like the or the commander or whatever of the base, they seem to be very much on top of their shit. Like he's keeping things tight. Like he ain't playing around, you know? And there's a very much like a massive sense of like professionality there. Like they take their job seriously. And there's also a mentioning that there's some kind of inspector coming to inspect the base or whatever, what I believe is the same day, like, you know, that the rebels are going to be planning their incursion or, you know, or their heist, if you want to call it that, right? Because, of course, their goal is to, of course, steal the payroll, you know, coming to the base. And, you know, so I did find, again, I really liked how they juggled from scene to scene, and they sort of flushed out this kind of really interesting dichotomy almost, where through the different lenses that we get from each part of this you know, this phase of the series where we're going to have this big heist, right? Which I'm sure is going to be epic. In the build up to it, they're basically giving us a chance to kind of like, you know, understand and see things through the lenses of the different factions that are going to be a part of this whole thing. Even to like, you know, Mon Moth. And, you know, and then even at the end of the episode, you know, going back to Luthen, right? Like being pessimistic and scared and nervous and worried about, is this going to work? Did I fuck up with Cassian? Was that a bad choice? Like I didn't do enough homework on him. Is he going to fuck us up? And now I personally was hoping that Luthen was going to be a part of it. I really did. I was hoping he was going to be on the ground in the heist, but I guess he's probably too important for all that, right? Like they can't afford to lose him like that. So he's kind of, you know, he's too high up for all that kind of stuff. The fact that he even did what he did with Cassian probably was not even something that he shouldn't have done. I think he just kind of like went rogue on that one. Hey, Rogue One, baby. You like that? You like that connectivity, kids? That's how we do it. Raymond. Nothing like Gloria Margarita, baby. Hey, Raymond, why have we not? When are we going to get sponsored by these motherfuckers? I mean, what's the deal, man? Like, seriously. I've drank so many bottles of this shit in like the last month and a half that, like, you know, I mean, you know, I can't even count them at this point. I mean, what do I got to do here? Do I got to just like hold the bottle up during shows? Like, do I got to get their attention? Like, hey, sponsor us. I drink your shit. Every show I'm drinking it, yo. Well, I mean, come on. MCU's Bleeding Edge. Here's your shit. See how this bottle's empty? That's right. I drank it. There you go. Come on now. Let's get out of there, folks. This is a sponsorship opportunity right in front of you. Thanks to me and Raymond and the Booze and Chill and the Bleeding Edge. And you're wasting this opportunity. All these wonderful people out there could be drinking your margarita. You know? I mean, if I'm drinking it, then I'm sure they're going to want to drink it, right? Who wouldn't? Oh, God. I'm sorry. That's funny, folks. Insider joke on that one. But no. So, anyways, no. I do really enjoy the jumping from scene to scene, giving us the different perspectives of the different elements of the this whole basic heist, right? And at the same time, still interweaving the Mon Moth aspect with the Foundation and the needing for her to move money, her dynamic with her family, her husband. We do eventually end up getting Luthen at the end of the episode. I didn't think we'd see him, but he pops up. And even Cyril and his mom, they get a second scene together towards the end of the episode as well. And then we get a last scene of Cyril looking at like a hollow shot of, you know, Cassian Andor, which just shows us that he's like basically obsessed with him at this point. He blames Cassian for what happened on Ferris and him losing his job, right? So who knows? Like maybe Cyril's just going to like go rogue, right? and just on his own somehow go hunt Cassian. We'll have to see what happens, right? I have a feeling he's somehow going to end up being a part of the heist. I don't know how, but why else would they put him in this episode? To me, I don't know. To drink or not to drink? Well, hey, that's a deep question. It's a deep question. I'm not sure if that's you, Raymond, but it's a deep one, brother. That's for another night. I'm not even going to respond to that. I don't even know what to say. Too much, man. Too much. You're taking me away from my job here, man. You're messing up my you're messing up my professionality here. All right, it's already bad enough. I'm starting to get drunk. Now you're fucking me up with all this hardcore philosophical shit, to drink or not to drink, and all this stuff. Come on now, I can't handle all that. That's above my pay grade. So now we return, of course, after we go to the Rebel base again, or after we go back, have another scene from the Imperial base. We go back to Deidre, still investigating what she believes is a rebel buildup that is widespread, right? She's essentially talking back and forth with like her assistant or whatever. They're still investigating on their own. And she, she's pretty much like dead certain, like, that in her gut, she knows something's going down. Like, I'm not sure if this relates squarely on the heist, or this is more of a, we have no way of knowing how long there's been like a real big rebellion move or whatever, like a big conflict. So we have no way of knowing, if maybe the Empire is kind of like falling asleep on the wheel with the rebels, and they think they're kind of just done. We don't know. But basically, she genuinely believes that this Ferrex incident was not just an isolated incident. This is actually somehow, to her, a clear indication that there's some kind of widespread, rebellious, cohesive, well-planned effort that's going to be widespread, where they're going to start making moves. Like, there's going to be some shit going down. And unlike Cyril, she's competent and instinctive at what she does, and actually seems to be down with the cause when it comes to like the Imperial forces. Like, she doesn't want to, like, she's not once mentioned wanting like a higher rank, or like, hoping that by doing this or whatever, this is going to like elevate her in the forces. She's literally like on her own, either interested in her own or or to protect the Empire. She feels like no one's getting what she's getting, and so she has to almost like in the background, kind of sneaky, continue to investigate the situation. She's not doing it for to get a slap on her back. I guess she really cares. I guess I have no idea. She's obviously not a rebel, so we know that. Like, she's not a double agent. So Cassian, well, back to Cyril and the friggin' mom. Oh wait, no, I'm all over the place here. Back to the rebels. The night before, or I guess early in the morning before the heist, they have a drink together and whatnot and everything. Before the infiltration. Back to Cyril and the mom. I don't know. Same kind of bullshit. She's an asshole, and he's skeptical about the whole situation with Uncle Marlo or whatever and whatnot. And but she's just like, for sure knows that Uncle Marlo has got it all worked out. He's gonna hook Cyril up with some good shit. So we'll see how that plays out, right? Cassian then, back with the rebels, wants to know why Lieutenant Dorn is helping the rebels. Why is he working from the inside to allow them to pull off this heist, right? To infiltrate the base. And nothing. He at that point it is not explained to him, other than the fact that like he's legit. Like, you need to just believe us with this. Like, we know who this guy is. Don't worry about it. This is not a question. We don't have to worry about him. Like, if anything, we're worried about you. We ain't worried about him. So at that point, we go back again to the Imperial base. They just keep on getting shit tight, doing their jobs. There's no really interpersonal dialogue that goes on between them. And there's nothing like, emotional or nothing like familial or fun or anything like that. It's not like that. It's very much professional. It's very much all about like their assignments and maintaining the base and presenting it well for this inspection or whatever. Also, I guess from what you gleaned through the episode, they're actually going to be decommissioning this base, I guess, down the road. They're either going to be decommissioning it or like limiting even less of the staff that they have at it. So I guess it's almost becoming like irrelevant to the Empire. Like they don't really need the space anymore, maybe. So from there, we get a very interesting scene. Again, what a surprise, with Cassian and, of course, Skeen, where all of a sudden out of nowhere, Skeen pulls a knife on Cassian right to his throat, then cuts off that gem that Luthen gave him as a down payment to do the job, right? That's dangling off of Cassian's neck, off his neck. Cuts off the gem and flips out and is like, okay, who is this douchebag? Like, who goes into an operation like this with a 30,000 credit, gem or whatever, whatnot that you need for like a lightsaber, right? Why would you do that? Why would you go into this base with that around your neck, right? And like, what does this say about who you are at that point? Like, you show up with nothing. You have no bags. You have no extra clothes. You ain't got shit. You've been wearing the same clothes for 17 weeks and shit, right? You ain't got shit. But you got that, right? So he's very skeptical at that point of, and so are several of the rebels of Andor, hey, think about it, folks. If you were in this situation, right? If you were the rebels, you've been planning and like, and doing exercises and whatnot to do this, to pull off this heist for like what, over a year, I think they said, or something. You've been eating, the lieutenant in the beginning of last episode said that they've been eating roots and shit, everything and whatnot, and all this stuff, and they're not getting paid. They're just down for the cause, So not only did they question, Cassian in terms of like whether he's a traitor or not, or like he's actually an insider, they're also questioning his motivations. Like, why the fuck is he even here? Like, what's he doing here? So at that point, there's a lot of questions of Cassian at that point, of his loyalty. And he basically just flat out says, hey, I'm here for the money. There's a tense moment, but the lieutenant rounds up the troops and says, we're going to continue on forward and we'll flush this out later on. Mon, ends up with her husband again. They're driving around their futuristic car. And the husband asks Mon about this foundation that he's building, right? Now, at that point, she basically expresses to him, he asks, well, how come you didn't tell me about this foundation? Well, she says, well, because, dear, it's charitable. So, it's charitable. I don't know. I didn't think you'd even care at that point. And the husband kind of says, okay. And then tells the driver to like take them to the interstate or whatever, and I didn't know what was going to happen right there for a minute. I was wondering if him asking to do that had something to do with maybe he was going to kill Mon or something like that. I didn't know. Maybe we'll see in the next episode where that plays out. But I felt like there was something going on there. That all of a sudden he asked the driver to take that different route. But, either way, bottom line, Karn, again, is still obsessing on Cassian. The episode wraps up with Karn looking at like a hollow image of Cassian's face, right? Obviously, he's obsessed with him still. And pretty much other than the scene where we do see Luthen and whoever the hell that woman is, young woman is with him, I guess it's also part of the rebellion. Or maybe that's just his hot young wife. I don't know. Who the hell knows? Which I wouldn't blame him for that. Being very pessimistic and scared and nervous about the operation. He hasn't heard from them. There's been no communication. He's very worried. He's questioning the whole thing with Andor. Like, should I have even got Andor? Was this a good move? Is this going to fuck up the whole plan that I got Andor in there? And that's basically how the episode closes out. Him and Cyril, and that's it. And it's done. And I'm assuming episode 6, we're going to start right off with the heist, right? Because the rebels are right there. They're on the outskirts of the installment, the Imperial installment. They're gonna put their uniforms on and shit, and they're gonna go after it, man. And then we'll see what happens, right? So, either way, that, folks, would be, I suppose, my solo review of episode 5. I hope you enjoyed it. Hey, maybe I should do more of this solo shit. I mean, look, this was under an hour. Like normally with me, when I do reviews. Okay. Hey, what's up? I'm sorry. All it says is you're a Facebook user, so I don't know who you are, but thank you. I appreciate that. That's wonderful to hear. We look forward to seeing you on the next live stream. Hey, Wednesday evening, baby. What are we doing, Cyber? Shit. Oh, that's rough. I can't even freaking remember. How about that? Damn. No, I'm just kidding. No, I really can't remember. I have no idea. But I do know that on Friday, next Friday, we'll be doing Andor episode 6. And that I know. Oh, wait, no. I'm tripping. I'm sorry. Oh, hey, Jacoby. No, Wednesday next week, Andor episode 6. Friday next week, Willow episode 1. That's right, baby. Willow episode 1. We're doing it. Cyber wanted to do it, right? And he's my boy. He's the Willow, knowledgeable guy. He's all about it. That's Cyber's deal. He knows about movies. He knows about TV shows. I trust him emphatically when it comes to that stuff. I lean on him, right? Just like he leans on me for my comic book knowledge and whatnot. And that's how our dichotomy works, baby. Me and Cyber work very well together. It's not very hard for us to figure shit out. So, we know our strengths and weaknesses. And so, yeah, Willow episode 1, baby. On Friday. Can't wait. It's going to be interesting. And next Sunday, I believe we'll be doing possibly we'll be releasing the true story, the true knowledge story of the emotional, deep, dark, real life story of the night She-Hulk downed me. That's the title. A true knowledge inspired event that Cyber, of course, recorded himself. And then was downed by She-Hulk right after that, actually, believe it or not. Then he got downed by She-Hulk after. In the back closet and shit. So, so Cyber has also experienced this like insane, I'm still fucked up from my night with She-Hulk getting downed. I don't know what the hell's going on anymore. Maybe that's why people don't want to come on the show with me anymore. Ever since I got downed by She-Hulk, nobody takes me seriously anymore, right? I went from true knowledge, to out there killing it with chicks and whatnot, to like getting down by She-Hulk. Now my shit's over. I'm done. I'm not even relevant anymore. Nobody even believes me. But no, I want to believe that that She-Hulk domming me made me a better man. I do. It was a very important part of my life that I'll never forget, right? Of course, right after that, I then got dommed by Rogue from the Fox X-Men movies, the original ones. That Rogue dommed me too. And I'm telling you, man, that was intense too, man. Cyber and I have talked about this privately and whatnot. It left me scarred, Very intense, man. I'm telling you. I'm not used to getting dommed like this by chicks. It's very new to me. I don't see how it's positive for me at all. or how it's just, really how I'm tangibly supposed to grow from it or whatever, because I did not enjoy it. But I'm sure that I just don't understand. And if I just talked to Jessica Gao, she can explain to me how I needed that as a man to have Shield do that for me, right? She was teaching me a lesson and help me be a better man by dominating me and, causing me to, of course, have permanent erectile dysfunction for the rest of my life, right? I'll tell you right now, when I was watching Black Panther Wakanda Forever in the theater, I swear to Christ, there was one scene where freaking goddamn stupid ass Ironheart was there with freaking with Shuri, and they were talking about like the sacred herb, and they had Chadwick Boseman's DNA. They had T'Challa's DNA pulled up and everything and whatnot. And I swear to God, no joke, this is how freaking like legit woke MCU Marvel's gotten. I'm not lying to you. I thought at that moment they were literally going to actually create a baby. T'Challa's son was going to be created right there in the lab by Shuri and Ironheart. They're going to create a child without a man. Just with Chadwick's DNA or whatever, somehow. I don't even know. That's where I thought it was going, right there. I'm not lying. This is not a joke. That's how much of a joke Marvel Studios has gotten, that I actually thought that at that moment. That's what I thought was going to happen. I was dead set on it. I was like, oh my God. They're utterly going to like flat out show in the movie that we don't need men to procreate anymore. Now, that didn't happen, of course. But it's funny as shit to me that I actually thought that's what was going to occur. I swear to God, cross my heart here, hope to die and all that. God, Jesus, I wouldn't lie. I thought that was what was going down because, hey, look, Ironheart can do anything. She's an engineer, graduated from MIT, and all of a sudden, halfway through the movie, she's also a surgeon, right? And like a licensed doctor somehow. She's everything. She's like the Captain Marvel of black women, of black superheroes or whatever, right? Like, I mean, she's something else, man. She can do anything. Of course, I am wondering, to be honest with you, who exactly was it that even wanted Ironheart in the MCU? I don't know really who was. I don't think anybody was. But hey, we're getting her. I mean, I guess we don't have any choice, right? Like, I mean, how can we get rid of her? I mean, once you're in, are you out? Like, can we like rally as fans and just be like, you know what? We want Ironheart out. Like, no, we reject this. We can't have this. Ironheart's got to go. We'll have to see. This is going to have to be somewhere to talk about, folks. If we want to save the MCU, we got to fight, baby. You know what I'm saying? We got to fight the wokeness. Anyways, folks, I'm not sure what I'm going to do for us tonight. I mean, shit, it's early for me. I mean, I don't do 1 hour live streams. Everybody knows that. That's Cyber's type of territory. I could go for another 2 hours. I just don't know what to talk about, really. I mean, so at that point, having nobody else to talk to, I cannot imagine that, like, me doing another 2 hours by myself is really going to help out our like average listening or viewing times on YouTube, right? It'll probably hurt us analytically. So I should probably kill it right there. But I do want to say thank you very much to Raymond, Joss, Cyber, all of you that have decided to pop on, and Jacoby, and say hello, whatnot, and everything. I do hope all of you who catch this tomorrow and the next day enjoy the review. I know it was just me, but I did my best. I tried to keep it tight. I didn't want to go too long. So I hope you appreciate it, and please do us a favor. Besides helping me and Cyber reach 10,000 subs on the Bleeding Edge, do me a favor and make sure that you also consider checking out Cybernetic Shark's YouTube channel, helping the guy out real quick, and if anything, before you sub us, sub him. All right? Because he's been in the game longer than me. And the dude deserves it, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's trying to get hit 1,000 subs. Help him out. I think he's only like freaking 300 or 400 or 500 subs away. I think he's at like 3 something or 4 something. We can make that happen, folks. We can make that happen. Cyber's good people, man. You know what I mean? He deserves to hit that 1,000 mark. He does. So I don't even care if you subscribe to the Bleeding Edge. Subscribe to Cybernetic Shark. It only takes a minute. That's what he goes by on YouTube. Help a brother out, all right? Anyways, folks, I'm not a big plugger. It makes me feel kind of awkward, right? So all I can really say is, yes, of course, please subscribe. Hit the like button. Leave a comment in the comment section. Say whatever you want. Say hello. Tell me how attractive I look. I just turned 40 years old, so apparently I'm going to hit some big midlife crisis kind of deal. I don't know how that stuff works, but apparently that's coming to me here soon. Who knows what that's going to be like? So I need some compliments and whatnot to prepare myself for that whole situation. That could be really dark for me and deep. I don't know, no idea what I'm walking into with that. But I can promise you this though, folks, even at 40 years old, true knowledge will still be out there smashing away at anything that is above the legal age of sex. as true knowledge would explain it. They're all still viable to me as far as I'm concerned. And I'll still be getting after it. Also, folks, be watching out too for our next big special, okay? How the fuck did Wakanda end up collaborating with the Power Rangers and the Predator? Right? It's going to be a big one. Could be Oscar nominated, you never know. So be prepared, folks. We got some deep, heavy, dramatic, serious shit going down on the Bleeding Edge. And we're getting after it as usual. This is some really serious shit. So, hey, tune in, baby. Let's get after it. We love all of you. Even you, Raymond. And we'll see you later. Take care.
They're going to kill me. I told them to send me a video holding an object and start nodding.
Anything is a dildo when you really put your mind to it. There's no such thing as too large or too sharp. Every time you stop to question yourself, I want you to tell yourself, I can and I will.
Galaxy.
Yeah. Someone at the door, John, now I'm here to stay. Tell me who the fuck gonna face the music. More brick laying, less screen time. Been cutting back on the daily usage. Long road for the road dogs, for the weird miles from a soapbox. Got BKTs on this bitch, so everybody getting rolled on, yeah. Yeah, everybody getting rolled on. Check artist credits on BMI. I'm just too kind to expose y'all. And I see a team with a ghost sign and question if y'all ever wrote songs. All enemies.